Now you can start.
Okay, I'd like to call to order the regular meeting of the Board of Trustees, virtual meeting via Zoom, live stream on YouTube for Monday, October 5th, 2020. Let the record reflect that it is 6:36. Madam Clerk, why don't you call the roll?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Trustee Denton,
Present.
Trustee Steve,
Present.
Trustee House,
Present.
Trustee Brown,
Present.
Trustee Holmes,
Present.
Trustee Henyard.
Present.
Okay, all the members of the board are here. We have a quorum. What department heads are on?
Well, I
Oh.
see Village Administrator Scott, Housing Director Sharon Harris, our Finance Consultant Chris Mirabali, Deputy Fire Chief Don Rush, and our Village Engineer Ron Smith, and of course, Public Works Superintendent Matt Stacy. And I see some phone numbers I don't recognize, so if I've omitted anyone, please log in or chime in.
DC McInerney is on.
Yeah, I'm on, sir. The chief might not be able to make it. He had a dental appointment and he got some work done. He said he was going to try to get on at home, but I don't know how his mouth is.
Okay. All right, good. Let the record reflect that all those department heads that were mentioned and are in attendance to the meeting. Okay, if we can start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
I have a
allegiance.
flag, so I have to stand.
Okay. I pledge allegiance
To
to the flag
The flag
of the United
of the
States.
United States of America,
and to the republic
Republic
for which it stands,
which stands
one nation,
One nation.
under God,
God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
With
with
liberty.
liberty
And
and
justice.
And
justice
justice for all.
for all. Okay. Madam Clerk, why don't you lead us in prayer tonight?
I knew that day was going to come.
Well, it's been about 4 years, so,
It's been about 8,
hey, okay,
7, going on 8.
yeah.
So I will follow the very good example of my predecessors. Dear Lord, guide us for a productive and short meeting, very best interest of this village. Amen.
Amen.
Okay.
Amen.
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 Short and sweet.
Right.
I may have to leave the meeting. I'm not for sure. I got an emergency going on, but we're going to try to get through this. Okay, next thing on the agenda is general announcements. Are there any, Madam Clerk?
No, Mayor, I only have a couple of announcements under the village clerk's report, but if anyone else has announcements, this would be the time.
Yes, I do.
Go ahead, Trustee.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Hopefully you guys can hear me tonight. I lost my voice over the weekend, but residents, I just want to give you some friendly updates. First, according to the news reports from news reports from CNN and MSNBC, it's in regards to coronavirus. So please be aware that the Trump administration has blocked the CDC from contact tracing to determine and alert others that may have been infected by the president. Now, considering that, please take all the necessary precautions regarding COVID-19. This is not the time to get comfortable and relaxed. We all know someone who has been attacked by this virus. Let's take care of each other by washing our hands, wearing face masks, and social distancing. If you feel as I do, you're pretty fed up with it. But the only way we can win in this war is by protecting ourselves as we protect each other. The next thing on my announcements is the voter registration drive, you guys. That was awesome. It was a huge success. I want to give a special thanks to Frank M. Zuccarelli and Thornton Township who dropped off over 500 food boxes this weekend, which included dairy products, veggies, meats, and canned goods, you guys. So if you ever need any food or you didn't get any boxes over the weekend, you can contact myself at 708-297-6859. Again, our number is 708-297-6859 if you need food, guys. I had 2 questions, Mayor. I'll just recite them and then you just let me know the answer. That's fine. One, I guess this is for Giovanni. I did send you guys an email in regards to our flyer about our voter registration drive this weekend. And you guys stated that you guys will put it up on all our outlets and it was not put up. So my question is why? My next question is for the mayor, and it's in regards to the town hall meeting that we were supposed to have regarding 14200 Cottage Grove. Can you tell me why we have not done a town hall meeting and what's going on with that, if anything? I got a ton of concerns about it. I don't know if you guys know that land is contaminated, and I would like to know, Mayor, in 2011, you was on the board, and it was a what was done with the property? That's my question for 14200 in Cottage Grove. 2 questions, thanks.
I know that Giovanni had mentioned the fact that you wanted something posted, and we had a glitch and it wasn't able to be posted. Be quite honest, which I don't think we returned to get it posted. Secondly, on 142nd and Cottage, I'm not sure who mentioned the fact that you wanted to have a town hall meeting. I think yourself and Trustee Holmes have mentioned the fact you want to hear from the people. So at that point, I was under the impression that you guys would set up the town hall meeting. I didn't hear clearly what you said about me being a trustee in regards to that property. You were kind of cut out. So you want to mention that? You want to read?
Sure, but let's back up to the 2 things you just answered. Number 1, you said it was a glitch in the system for why you guys didn't post the flyer.
Yes.
Okay, well, that's untrue on what you're stating, Mayor, because you guys did email back, and your email stated that I was in, what's the word that she used? You had something going on at the same time I had something going on. So she did not post the flyer because it was bumping heads with your event that you put on from 11 to 2, as well as my event. So that's the reason for why she didn't post it, is what the email stated. So how you make up a glitch, I don't understand it. So I don't want to play politics. I really would like the information to get out to the residents. I've been asking for years, and the previous board been asking for years. I just want to put it out there so they know the things that Trustee Henry offers as well. And then as it relates to your other comment for 14200 Cottage Grove, myself and Holmes, which he can speak for himself, both agreed on a town hall meeting that you stated that, okay, I will do. You then put it in Trustee House's committee, or someone did. I think the attorney suggested it goes in his committee, and then you said, no, take it out. We're gonna take care of it. And to this day, nothing. So 2 weeks then went by and I just was asking what has happened. Instead of you placing blame, I would like you to take initiative for your actions and just say you dropped the ball on it, Mayor. I still think we should talk to the residents about it before we move forward. But the thing I have most concerned about is the land. When you was a trustee in 2011. And then for those that is watching, you can recite and you can pull the minutes from December 5th of 2011, and you'll understand what I'm saying about that piece of property over there, because it's like you just was pushing us to vote on it, and no one knows the history of why when Henry spoke up, why I'm saying, you guys, let's go over all of this, because I want to make sure that the tenants that go in there, are they going to clean the property up, or is that going back on the village? Because from my understanding, they just want to lease the land, but no one's talking about the contamination that comes with the product.
Well, first of all, Trustee Henry, we mentioned the fact that land should be examined and for contamination. Secondly, I pretty much know the history of that land, and for what the tenants want to do, I don't really think it need a phase 3 examination, because they're talking about parking. They're not talking about building anything. They're not talking about anybody, living there or it being habitable. Secondly, the attorney that was on mentioned the fact they were going to do a cleanup. They were going to do a cleanup in phases. So that was mentioned at the last meeting. And lastly, I didn't say I was going to do the town hall. I said I had, since you guys wanted it to be examined and you wanted to have input by the community, I said, that's fine, let's do it. I didn't say I was going to do it. You took it, and in the past, you have called town hall meetings without putting it on me. So if you guys want to have community input, I got no objection in that. Call a town hall meeting, get the residents there, let them put some input into it.
For me, I've door knocked that area, and a lot of people is concerned about that piece of property. A lot of people have put their comments in citizens address as well. So I'm asking you, by you being the mayor, that you should do the same thing, since you don't initiate the town hall meeting. I know that I can do it, I always do, but you're the leader. So the leader should take some kind of initiative and do a town hall meeting for the people, Mayor. You
Well, I'm
always putting
telling
it
you,
off on somebody else. You should do it.
Well, I'm telling you as the leader that I have no objection to a truck parking facility being there. That truck traffic is there every day. It's an industrial area. There's manufacturing companies there that get serviced by trucks every day. And you may remember the fact that I was the initial point person that had the garbage dump closed. It was the last remaining garbage dump in Cook County. There was probably at least 50 to 75 trucks coming in there a day. It's nowhere near that right now. In regards to truck parking, it would help accommodate a lot of the residents that have commercial vehicles that's parking on the street right now, to give them a safe place to park. So as far as cleanup, and not only that, they mentioned the fact they would do the landscaping when they came in to do that. So I don't think there needs to be an extensive examination for contamination there, because they're going to just be doing parking. No servicing of trucks, just parking.
Yeah, I'll
And
be
I'm going to go back
recognized.
and forth with you on this. If you want
Ladies
to call a town hall meeting, then you can call a town hall meeting.
Mr. Mayor and trustees, I'd just like to remind you, this is general announcements. If the trustees want to discuss something under old or new business, they're free to do so. But this is not the appropriate time to have a question and answer session.
Okay, any more announcements? Next thing is a presentation for Cook County Board President Tony Preckwinkle, intergovernmental agreement for Cronus Vital Relief Funds. Elizabeth, is this you?
Yes, Mayor. President Preckwinkle's special assistant should be on. Is he on now, Giovanni?
Mr. Kendall's on.
Okay, he'll be putting President Preckwinkle on. She would like to speak about the CARES Act, the coronavirus relief program. Mr. Kendall?
I'm on the line. Let me call the president now. I was expecting her to call me. If you give me 1 minute,
Okay.
please. Good evening,
Okay.
everyone. Good evening, Mayor.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm gonna call the president now and add her in.
Okay.
Call from Gomez Sharon. Call from Gomez.
Mayor, I'm sorry. The president is still on the calls with the Cook County Board Commissioners.
Okay,
I will just say that the president is extremely glad to be able to offer the ability to distribute CARES dollars to Dalton municipality and for them to be able to get the amount that they are requesting. Within the CARES dollars, we enacted a specific performer that allotted more money to minority communities, be able to help those communities that are ravaged by the coronavirus within our communities. So what I would like to do is to thank you, Mayor, and your administrators for responding quickly and submitting all your documentation. And hopefully tonight, of course, you guys would pass the intergovernmental agreement, which would allow us to, once all of your bills, your request is finalized, to get you the maximum amount of dollars that we can give you for your municipality. If the president does get free, I will gladly come back on the line and then try and make a request. But I wanted to make sure to at least say that on the behalf of the president. And I'm Al Kendall, Special Assistant for the President.
okay. Thank you, Al. If the president becomes available, kind of chime in and we'll try to get her in as soon as she's available.
All right. She only went like 3 minutes. That's all.
Okay, no problem.
All right,
Okay,
thank you, sir. I will stay on the line.
Okay, we're gonna continue to move forward, and when she becomes available, just let us know. Okay, next thing on the agenda is a citizen's address. This is limited to the discussion of the agenda items. Giovanni, you want to take any questions?
We have a few questions so far.
Okay,
I'm just trying to see if they're specific to the agenda or not. One says it's extremely dark on a lot of our neighborhood streets, which poses great danger for residents. Could you please tell me what are the plans to get this problem rectified?
okay, that's not right now. That can come back in the general citizen's address. We're
Yeah,
talking about-
the other two, they're general also, so we can save them for later.
Okay, all right. Village clerk's report.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. At this time, I would ask for approval of the minutes of the board meeting, regular board meeting of September 8th, 2020, and the meeting of the committee of the whole for September 21, 2020, separately or together as usual.
Okay, I'd like to get a motion to approve item A, the approval of the minutes for September 8th, 2020 regular board meeting and September 21st, 2020, the meeting of committee of the whole. Is there a motion?
A motion.
Who is that? Trustee Holmes?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll
Okay.
second.
Okay, trustees, motion by trustee Holmes, seconded by trustee Steve. Any discussion? No discussion, roll call.
That was trustee House.
Yeah, I thought so.
Oh,
Thank
trustee
you.
House. Okay, I'm sorry. Did you get
And
that,
these are for
Madam Clerk?
both minutes, both sets of minutes?
Yes.
Okay. Roll call, trustee Denton,
Aye.
trustee Steve,
Aye.
trustee House,
Aye.
trustee Brown,
Aye.
trustee Holmes,
Aye.
trustee Henry.
Aye.
Motion carries 6 ayes. Item B.
Under
Communications.
communications, I would just like to remind everyone that, believe it or not, next week is October 12th, which is a holiday, Columbus Day, now known in some parts as Indigenous Peoples' Day, but in either event, the Village of Dalton and the Payment Center offices will be closed, excluding, of course, the fire and police departments. So that's Monday, October 8th. Regular business will be closed. And just as a reminder, again, early voting starts October 19th, but those residents who wish to apply for a mail-in ballot may still do so for the coming weeks. I applied for mine September 17th. I made a note of it. I got it today in the mail, so there is hope. So residents are still encouraged to make a plan for voting before or on election day. That's all, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Next item is engineers reports. Is Mr. Smith on?
Yes, I am, Mayor. Thank you very much. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just two items. One, FEMA has announced a flood hazard mitigation grant that's due January 29th of 2021. I'll be working with the village administrator and also Matt Stacy on identifying those areas that are prone to flooding within the village and apply for some grant funding dollars. The second and final item I have, we applied for the maximum amount of $400,000 for the 2020 CDBG Capital Improvement Grant. They have not now announced any awards as of yet. I will keep the village posted on any new updates. And that's all I have this evening.
Okay, thanks, Mr. Smith.
Thank
Committee reports. Finance, Trustee House.
Okay, for Finance Committee, we had our Finance Committee meeting last Wednesday. The topics we cover were our monthly financial reports, the progress that's being made on our time clock enrollment system. And one area that we also discussed was the water billing and making sure that the water bill comes out. That was also discussed in the Public Works meeting. So I think Trustee Steve may have some comments on that. Our next Finance Committee meeting will be the last Wednesday of this month, October 28th at 5:30 p.m. So thank all residents who attended the Finance Committee meeting, and I say attended, viewed, and we look forward to more people this October 28th. That concludes the report, Mayor.
Okay, next thing on the agenda, housing, Trustee Brown.
Okay, for the month of September, the report follows. 17 as-is inspections. We had 2 board ups. We had 24 cell inspections, and we had 3 invoices for grass cutting. That is the end of our housing report for September. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Trustee Brown. Police and Fire, Trustee Holmes.
This is Trustee Holmes. I requested your documents so I can report to the village, but I still haven't received anything yet. But on the fire side, I ask that you check your fire extinguisher, make sure you have them updated because they do get clogged up too. Get you some new batteries in the fire detectors. And also at the same time, be mindful to teach your younger ones a way in and out of your house, just in case of an emergency for safety reasons. On the police side, I ask that you continue to keep your eyes and ears open for yourself, not only yourself, but your neighbors. Anyone that's parking on your block, you don't know that vehicle, call the police department, have them come out and check that vehicle. Or anybody that's walking up and down your block, just keep your eyes and ears open. And that's the end of my report.
Okay, Trustee Public Works, Trustee Steve.
Wait, excuse me, Trustee Steve, before we start, President Preckwinkle is on the phone now, and she would like to speak, if possible, on the CARES Act.
Okay, Madam President, are you there?
I am, and I thank you very much for the opportunity to address you this evening. I'm grateful to all of you for responding to our request to assist with CARES Act funding, and I hope that you will, as soon as you get the intergovernmental agreements, that you will execute them so that we can distribute the funds. And again, I want to thank you for giving me an opportunity just to say a few words tonight.
Well, you're welcome, Madam President. Anything else that you wanted to add?
No,
It's tomorrow the last day to apply for your for the business dollars that's available, Tony?
small business assistance. Yes, that is the case, and it's small businesses with 20 staff people or under, and it's a grant program. And it's for suburban Cook County. You can find information about it at our website, which is cookcountyil.gov/recovery.
And that's for small businesses with employees under 20?
That's right.
Okay, Madam President. I'm sorry.
It's a grant program. It's not a loan. We previously had a loan program, a zero interest loan for 5 years. This is an entirely grant program.
Okay, great. Thanks for that information. And I'd like to thank you again for coming out this Saturday for our census drive and our voters registration drive. The residents really appreciate it, and it's really an honor to have the Cook County president come out and address the citizens.
Thank you, Mayor Rogers.
Okay,
And good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Okay, thank you, Al, if you're still there.
I am still here, and thank you for letting us interrupt giving us some time on your evening agenda.
Okay, no problem. Have a good
All
night.
right, take care.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Thanks, Al.
Yes. Melanie Fitness Center, Trustee Steve.
Good evening, everyone. I'm gonna start with Public Works. Is that all right? Is that okay?
That's fine. That's fine. Go ahead.
We had our Public Works Committee meeting this past October 1st. We talked about the conditions of the vehicles getting ready for the wintertime, the conditions of the building, and adding a mechanic and current manpower shortage. So we talked about that. Trustee House and the administrator was on the line to talk about the budget constraints and what we can do. So they're working on that right now to come back, to get back with us with a report. And Public Works, Matt Stacy, Public Works Superintendent, to get back with us what we can. We definitely need another vehicle for this wintertime. So that's what we talked about heavily in the Public Works Committee meeting. And we also talked about the water department and getting these water bills out on time. There was a good conversation about it between the Administrative Scott and the water department director and Trustee Brown. So we came up with some goals and some plans, and we want to continue to move forward. I understand there's some things going on now, but we have to make the water department better. And that was the general discussion of everything that went on over there. And we also talked about the timeline as far as getting trees up and how the village is looking, Public Works is doing with the cleanup from the storm maybe a few weeks ago. So they said slowly but surely they're getting through the whole town, picking up trees, picking up things, getting sometimes stumps that's been cut up, sometimes trees that have been left there. So they're working on getting through that. So just be patient with Public Works and continue to call, and they will continue to work to move forward to improve it. I want to ask a question to the board. I could cover the next Public Works meeting. I could cover the 142nd and Sibley, Cottage Grove. I went over there the other day, and I have a drone, so I got a bunch of pictures, and I took pictures, aerial shots of the whole thing. If we want to, at the next Public Works meeting, we can kind of go into the history of that and see what's over there. I'm gonna get some more video. I'm gonna get, a drone can get a lot of good stuff that you can't see just by standing there. So if we want, I can really kind of try to go into it to see what's going over that land. And from my understanding, we still have to get the exact numbers of anything because we don't know what they want. We've seen the report and they want what they want to do over there, but I can put that in my next Public Works Committee meeting and we can discuss it. That's it for Public Works. Go ahead. Any questions?
Trustee Steve, when is your next Public Works meeting?
I haven't set the date, but I'll set the date and then I'll send the email out.
Okay. Attorney Murphy advised that a lease was sent over to his office from their attorney. I haven't seen it yet. I'm not sure if he forwarded it to anyone yet, but he's on now. Attorney Murphy's on. So,
Good evening, everybody.
but one of the things was the fact that if we're going to do it, they'd like for us to move kind of quickly on this because he wanted to get started before winter time. So, John, you want to weigh on this just a little bit?
Yep. I've got a conference call with the attorney for the proposed tenant tomorrow, mid to late afternoon. The Mary Kay O'Reilly are still looking see if we've got a survey. I've asked them to bring down title to make sure we've got clear title to it. So we'll try to, for board direction, keep the thing moving. I have not reviewed the lease yet. It just came in over the weekend.
Okay. I did locate a survey in my files. So it was done, I believe, by Robinson Engineering at one time when there was some transactions going back and forth when the other owners were there. Mary Kay, you were part of that meeting, I believe. Maybe not.
After my time here.
Yeah, right. Before your time.
Well, no, well, I don't know when your survey was, but I know there was quite a lot of activity and back and forth on transferring title of the property
Right,
in the 2000s
yes,
going
right,
forward.
yes. So at any rate, I can get that survey to you, John, if you want to submit it to the other side.
Okay, is that it?
Okay,
And,
go ahead.
and so if even if the attorney can give me our stuff and we can hold that meeting, but at least we can delve into it and open it up and look at it and just, you know, let the residents see what's going on. Also, we talked about at the Public Works Committee, Administrator Scott, can you deal with moving the water bill instead of getting people, residents getting at the end of the month, moving it to the beginning of the month? Can you touch on that at all? Huh?
I'm confused. You're saying you
Remember,
want to move the water bill?
No, remember we discussed that at the Public Works Committee meeting. Can you touch on that? What we talked about, the moving the water bill delivery to the residents at the beginning of the month. That we talked about.
So the water bills typically were sent out. I spoke with someone who had previously worked in the water department for around 15 or so years. Just to get some insight, she also trained me on the water bills when I came on in 2015. She told me that the water bills typically are sent out the last day, the month before they're due, or the first, couple days of the month that they're due. And that you always, per ordinance, give the residents at least 20 days to pay the bill, to allow them time. And so that was one of the things that I proposed, that we just go back to the way that the residents are familiar with, and we will get feedback if the residents aren't happy with that, if they want, something changed. But I'm getting a lot of complaints as far as the bills going out on time. I think we've had a lot of discussion about it. So I was just trying to help to come up with a way to get everything back on track with the water department and to assist the director. So I did send out an email to all of the board, including the mayor, as far as the plan for the water department moving forward. But I think there needs to be some discussion today in executive session.
Okay. All right. So that's it for my Public Works Committee report, and now I can move on to Melanie Fitness. The Melanie Fitness report, we've actually started the process of reimbursement of people who paid before we closed down. So that's in the process. And also, I don't know, everybody knows Pastor Dot. They are definitely moving forward with the purchase of Melanie Fitness Center. I got the call, I have to talk to them to get some hard dates because we could list it, but if we list it, we got to pay that commission fee to whoever we list it to. Pastor Dodd and his church, they brought an investor in, about a chiropractor in, and they want to make it a wellness center. So it'd be a gym on top of a wellness center. So it'd be a community center at the same time. So that's what New Community Church, I think that's New Community Church on Lincoln. That's where they're moving towards. So that's still in the plans and it's looking real promising right now. So that's the update on Melanie Fitness and the Public Works Committee meeting, Public Works Committee. And if I do decide to hold that Public Works Committee meeting so we can look at 142nd and Cottage Grove, and we can look at the pictures and the area photos, the condition of it right now, maybe we can move forward on that.
I got a question, Mayor.
Go ahead, Trustee.
I know last board meeting, we discussed this, and I know that it was supposed to go in Trustee House's committee, so we won't be here now. So now all of a sudden, is it okay to go in Ed's committee when we could have dealt with this a week ago? Because Trustee House just had a finance meeting to talk about 142nd Street. Well, I'm not understanding what's the problem.
Well,
why did you take it out of his committee and we didn't do anything? No one talked about it. No one did anything as it relates to talking about it, discussion.
Trustee, it's easy to understand. I never took it out of his committee. Did I say anything about taking it out of Jason House's or Trustee House's committee and giving it to Trustee Steve? No, I did not.
No.
Trustee Steve just mentioned some things about it. I never said I was taking it out of Trustee House's committee.
You did at that last meeting. That's why I mentioned
I'm not going to go back and forth with you,
I'm not
Trustee.
going back and forth, Mayor.
Okay,
I'm just
then
talking.
fine.
We're having dialogue. We're just talking. So I'm just trying to ask, because I'm not understanding what's the holdup and what's the problem of just holding a town hall meeting that y'all can post on the website. When I host town hall meetings, I post. but you guys don't want to share my post. So how are the residents gonna know that we're having a town hall meeting, Mayor? Because if that's the case, we could post a town hall meeting today. We all can agree on this, and you could post one Wednesday, Friday,
If
the
I may,
weekend.
Mr. Mayor. Trustees, I'd remind you in the minutes that you approved just a while ago from those meetings, the last two meetings, where that discussion was left is that the attorney was to receive the proposed lease from Mr. Harrington, the attorney for the proposed developer, and Attorney Murphy, as he just said a little while ago, just received that, and he was going to review it until we have the particulars above and beyond. We'd like to develop 142nd and Cottage. There's really nothing, no specifics before the board to discuss. So I think the next step is for Attorney Murphy to report back to the board as to the proposal by the developer, and then subsequent town meetings if appropriate, and I agree should be held, would take place when we know what's being proposed.
I agree with that. And I don't remember, Trustee House, you can chime in. I just came up with this idea right now. That wasn't a pre-planned thing. I don't never remember, because we just had the finance committee meeting. I don't remember it being on that agenda as one of your agenda items.
No, it was not. At the previous meeting, there was a discussion on where should we have it. If there was some mention of doing it in the finance committee, then it was decided by the board, everybody, to just do a town hall meeting.
Okay, so like Mary Kay said, we really can't even discuss now because we really don't know the specifics to discuss. So once we get the specifics back to discuss, then we can go forward with any meeting that we want to have to discuss the specifics on it. And then once we get the specifics on it, then we can have that meeting, and I can bring the pictures, I can bring the video, and we can show what's going on over there. I think that's the best way to do it.
Okay, I concur. John, when you take a look at the lease, can you provide some information to the board, and then we can set up a town hall?
Sure, I'll provide a summary and we talk to them, see where we are on open issues, what they're proposing in terms of rent and everything. I'll provide the board a summary.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Next
So
thing.
you guys gonna send it out, Mayor? You gonna do a town hall meeting? That's what you just said, right? I'm just making sure I heard that right. Is that right?
It's in the minutes, trustee.
Okay, well, thank you. That's all I wanted. A town hall meeting. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Next thing on the agenda is corporate bills.
Okay, we have two sets of corporate bills. I'm sorry, Mayor. Okay. Two sets of corporate bills that I'm going to read in and I'll propose that we do the payment collectively. Corporate bills payments electronic register number 172 has corporate payments of $39,832.21. The water fund register has payments of $235,298.11. Homewood disposal bonds register has payments of $321,200. Manual checks of $185,000 even, for total corporate payments on the electronic register of $781,330.32. And then moving into our corporate payments, which are our physical checks, register number 173 has corporate payments of $634,996.18. Gross payroll for September 11th, $336,571.31. Gross payroll for September 25th, $347,248.20. Melanie Fitness Center register payments of $16,977.34. Payroll for the Melanie Fitness Center September 11th, $855.11. Payroll for the Melanie Fitness Center September 25th, $855.11. Total corporate payments on register 173, $1,337,503.25. Motion that we pay the bills collectively.
Is there a motion to pay the bills collectively?
Yes, Mayor.
Okay, can I get a motion?
I motion to pay the corporate bills collectively.
We had a motion from Trustee House, so that would be a second by Trustee Tammy Brown.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. You just cut out. Okay. Any discussion?
I have a question. Could somebody explain to me the Melanie Fitness Center, the dollar amount as in comparison to months prior, how it went from $1,492.98 for the September 8th registry to $16,977. It's something that I hadn't seen, and could somebody tell me what that jump, what's that about?
Are you talking about payroll for Melanie Fitness Center?
I'm talking about the
understanding-
register. Melanie Fitness Center register number 173, $16,977.34.
Yeah, what,
Trustee House,
or,
you have the register in front of you?
I have the register. I see the line she's talking about. I think Chris is probably in the best position to outline which bills were paid on that one.
So trustee, the reason for the large jump, part of it, we had about $8,000 in ComEd for electricity for the fitness center. And then I'm just looking for anything else that, 1 second. And then we had repairs to the steam room of about another 8,000.
that wasn't repairs, that was backdated invoices. There weren't no repairs done to it.
Okay, I'm like, but it's not open. Why are we repairing it? Okay, so that's
Backdated invoices.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah, we
invoices
had a
that were
lot
just
of
provided to
backdated
us this month.
invoices that for some reason weren't submitted to us, that were just submitted recently.
Okay, I just need an explanation. Thank you so much.
Okay.
But Trustee Denton, just for your information, we still have to maintain the utilities there. We still have to maintain the maintenance of the pool, which includes chemicals, and also there's 2 part-time employees there, one that maintains the pool, and the other one, Ed, help me out here what the other one does. Trustee Steve?
The other one, he's there, he answers phone calls, so he's just there 4 hours. He may be there, I think 16 hours or 12 hours a week. He does with cleaning and stuff like that. Only person's over there on the regular is
Mr. Gray.
Mr. Gray, but Mr. Gray's only there 3 times a week just checking the pool, but the Detox Cafe is open Monday through primarily Saturday, sometimes Saturday, Monday through Friday from 7 to 3.
Yes.
So let me make sure I understood, Mayor. Y'all got an employee over there for 4 hours? Is that what you just said?
Yes.
For what?
There's still phone calls.
You said answer phones?
There's still phone calls. There's still cleaning that goes on over there. It's still stuff that people still come over there and ask questions. It's still a necessity to have somebody over. We can reduce his hours, but that's been going on since the beginning of COVID.
And it's important to have somebody, Trustee, it's also important to have somebody there to check on a regular basis to make sure nothing goes out, nothing happens where we'll get to the extent where we cause extensive damage.
Mayor, you just
constantly
said
got
I
water,
had,
the water pumps.
Ken Gray is only here from 5 in the morning. He just comes early at 5 in the morning, maybe 2-3 hours just to check the pool, just to maintain the pool. That's before anybody gets there. So you still have a person to come there because the Detox Cafe is just women there. So sometimes the guy Mark Lloyd comes in and he helps out throughout the day. So it's good to have still a male presence there when you have women there working. But Ken Gray, he's there early in the morning, 5 something in the morning, and he's only there for a few hours. He's there before anybody gets there.
Okay, right. This is my concern. Just saying from a business point of view, we are paying for something we're selling. We're no longer utilizing due to the fact of COVID. So I don't understand why we keep that expense of an employee. If you got phone calls coming, you forward to the village city hall. You don't keep an employee to answer a phone. It don't make sense to me. It's like wasting dollars. I'm just telling you from a business point of view, I wouldn't do it for my business. I would forward to my cell phone. I would keep an employee for it. So it doesn't make sense. And then a young lady, wait a minute, Mayor, hold on, let me finish. And then the young lady, she's renting space. So now you're telling me using the guy as security for the lady that's renting the space? She's renting the cafe. Two different businesses. So I'm just trying to understand why we're spending taxpayer dollars for something that's closed and we're selling.
We still
I
have,
don't
Well,
agree
we
with
have
that.
a, we
You
have
still
a big
have-
investment there. We have a big investment there. And we need to have somebody check it on a regular basis to make sure.
You
that
got
the
the guy, you said the pool guy, so he's the maintenance guy,
all
correct?
he-
That's the
no,
maintenance guy,
not
right?
The maintenance guy. All he does
No.
is tend to the pool. That's it.
Okay, and
He
then you
doesn't go
got
through the
Scott.
building. He
Don't
doesn't.
Scott go check on all our properties? Scott does
Trustee.
all the maintenance in the village, right?
Trustee.
I'm just saying it doesn't make sense. We
Oh,
should
that's
plan
fine.
differently for that. So I'm
That's-
just saying that and I'm gonna leave it alone. We should plan
Oh,
differently for that.
Thank you.
Okay, I got
Okay.
some questions. I don't know if somebody's next, but can I go off the warrant list?
Go ahead.
All right. The first one is Accurate Industries. I guess, Chris, I'm on page 5.
Yes,
Chris?
trustee? Yes,
Did you hear me?
page
What is
5,
that
that's the
for?
same question trustee Denton had for the other 8 grand for the repairs.
Okay, so you explained that I get it. Okay, so let me back up because I got mine highlighted on what I wanted to discuss. So let's go to page 6. Okay, the $1,000 for the cash flow, get cash flow to date. What's that? Is that like somebody put up escrow? What is that?
Yes, that's
say?
escrow.
Okay. Okay, so if you go to page 9, Sherwood Home and Auto Inc. It got PW T2. What's that? For $4,558.
That was repair for one of Public Works' vehicles that they label as T2.
Okay, so my next question is, so we outsource them to do maintenance on the vehicles? Is
The
that what you're
specific
stating?
is what they did on the vehicle. I don't know without looking at the invoice, which I can send you the invoice tomorrow.
Okay, because my concern with that is, from what I'm hearing, Public Works need a mechanic or a maintenance person, so we don't have these bills like this, an in-house person that fix all the vehicles, instead of us paying another company to do it. And I think, what's the food reimbursement for, what page am I on? Page 10, for Eric Price?
It was regarding a case in which he bought food for the entire, what's they called? 1 second. The Major Crimes Task Force.
Okay. Okay, that's it for me. That's it. That's it for me. Thank you.
Okay, next thing on the agenda, did we get the
Got a
vote on the
question.
bills?
I got a question there.
Go ahead, trustee Holmes.
The vehicles that are being maintenance, what vehicles are these? Are these the new vehicles?
It's any vehicle that could be in the fleet. It could be police cars, it could be the fire engine, it could be public works vehicles, any vehicles that's in the fleet.
I'm just looking at one vehicle, well, 2 we got for the brakes. 441, but you say it's any vehicle that can be in the fleet. Just trying to reference back to the new vehicles that we got, were they under warranty? But if these are the regular other vehicles, then I can understand from that, but I still want to find out if these are new vehicles.
I would say they're not the new vehicles. And some of the, when you see brakes, it could be parts.
And also, Future One Real Estate, do we have knowledge of what the $1,000 went to them for?
Which page are you looking at, trustee?
Wait a minute, I'm trying to locate this page on here because it's not clear. But it's Future One Real Estate.
Sounds like an escrow.
Yeah, that's an escrow.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, can we get a motion? I think that there's a motion already, Madam
We have
Clerk.
a
you wanna
motion and a
take-
second. We just need the roll call.
Yes, go ahead.
Trustee Denton,
Aye.
trustee Steve,
Aye.
trustee House,
Aye.
trustee Brown,
Aye.
trustee Holmes,
Aye.
trustee Henyard.
Aye.
Motion carries 6 ayes. Next thing is old business. Item A, resolution number 20R-007, supporting a proposed Class A classification for certain property within the Village of Dalton, specifically 1250 East Sylvie Boulevard, J&J Electronics. Can I get a motion on this for resolution? Hello? No motion?
I make a motion to propose resolution number 20R-007.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been motioned by trustee Steve, seconded by trustee, who
Brown,
was that? Trustee
trustee
Brown.
Brown.
Okay, any discussion on this? I think we
I
discussed this.
think we need to make a correction. Need to make a correction, I'm sorry, on the agenda. She has it listed as 1250 East Sibley, and it's actually in the letter 1254, if that means anything, but
Well, I asked that question too. And initially, when this was first proposed a few meetings ago, and I don't know if Mr. Dodson is on the meeting, but
Yes, I am.
okay, then I would defer to you, Mr. Dodson, to explain that one more time.
Yeah, the 1254 address is the mailing address for the post office. 1250 Sibley Boulevard is actually the assessor's assignment for the address.
You know, Mr. Johnson, I went by there physically today, and what's posted on the building is 1254. Now,
That's the mailing address.
I'm not sure. Okay, that's the mailing address.
The 1250 address is assigned by the assessor's office.
I can add, Mr. Mayor, that included in the resolution is the PIN numbers. So the PIN number. So that's the primary identifier from the assessors and the county's point of view as to what property we're talking about. So as long as the PIN number is accurate, and I haven't seen any inconsistency there, the discrepancy in the mailing versus the assessor's numerage is not a problem.
the
Correct me
PIN
if I'm
number
wrong.
does have 2 numbers attached.
Right.
Yeah, confused me at the get-go. That's, so I'm just going to the PIN.
Okay.
The pins are correct.
2 pins, correctly. Correcting myself.
Yes.
Okay, so it is correct on the agenda to 1250? Hello?
Yes, Mayor, but the pins on the resolution, it says 1250, which is the assessor's address, but it identifies it as PIN number 29-11-401-022 and 023.
Okay.
So which is the correct address to the place?
We got 2
1250?
addresses, but we have the identifying pins of the actual property. So one's a mailing, one's the assessor. We've seen this from time to time here in the village, where the post office has a different address than the assessor. So that again, I'll defer to those who know more than me on this one, but the critical identifying information are the PIN numbers.
That is correct.
Okay. Any further discussion on this?
Yeah. Hold on just a second. So what are you're saying the numbers, the PIN numbers are switched?
No, there are 2 PIN numbers. Those are accurate. There are 2 different addresses. One from the post office which uses one as a mailing address, and one from the assessor, which is who we're talking about because that's the county, who uses the 1250.
So the class 8 would be specifically for
The 2 PIN
which
numbers.
address? For both?
For the 2 PIN numbers, the address is kind of is an additional descriptive.
I don't want it to come back and bite us. That's all I'm trying to.
Right. The PIN numbers are the saving grace here. That's what the county uses.
The address is secondary. The
Correct.
PIN number controls the basis for the ordinance here.
So for the record, we're looking at 1250 as an address.
Mr. Dodson, 1250 is the
property is
assessors.
Okay, you would never use the 1250 address. If
Yeah.
you're going to address that property from the village standpoint, you're going to address it as 1254. For us to go to the county on the resolution itself, we identify with the 2 PIN numbers as well as what the assessor's office gives as an address. That is the only difference that we're dealing with here. So when it comes to talking about this property, it's 1254 from a public standpoint.
And that's how it's identified on the building. I went by today.
Yes.
Checked it.
The assessor comes up with some interesting addresses sometimes.
All right.
So go with the
Sometimes it's a
PIN when
totally
in doubt.
different street.
Yeah. Is there any further discussion on this? I know we discussed it last board meeting.
There was a consensus
Madam
with
Clerk,
the
once-
last committee of the whole to proceed.
Right. Okay. Madam Clerk, you want to take the roll?
Yes, sir. On the motion to approve resolution 20R-007, trustee Denton,
Aye.
trustee Steve,
Aye.
trustee House,
Aye.
trustee Brown,
Aye.
trustee Holmes,
Aye.
and trustee Henry.
Aye.
Motion carries 6 ayes. 6 ayes. 19 on the agenda is item B, proposed West Sibley Finance redevelopment and project eligibility study. John, you want to elaborate on this, or should we get a motion first and you want to talk about it?
Well, let me explain it first because this is part of the process that we have to go through under the TIF Act to get the TIF district in place. The board will recall that we've retained the consultant to do what's called an eligibility study. The next step will be for the board to adopt an ordinance starting the TIF process. And by that, I mean triggering the public hearings and what's called the joint review board, where the proposed TIF district is reviewed with the different taxing bodies and the public as a whole. There's a lot of notices that have to go out, but before we can pass that ordinance, we have to have the TIF eligibility study, meaning what's been prepared by the consultant examining the property, which shows that the property is eligible for TIF treatment. So the law simply requires that before the board can vote on the initial ordinance, the plan itself has to be available for public inspection for at least 10 days. So the only thing the board would be doing with the vote tonight would be to be putting the draft TIF report available for public inspection. And then next meeting we'll move forward.
Okay, is the report prepared already?
Yes, it's prepared and it's been forwarded on
To,
the clerk and the administrator.
okay. You might want to forward that to us, Madam Clerk.
It is in the packet, Mr. Mayor.
To the whole board. Okay. All right, thanks. All right, can I get a motion to propose West Sibley financing TIF district redevelopment plan and project eligibility study?
I would like to make a motion.
Okay, I think that was trustee Hendrick. Was there a second?
Second,
Who did that come from?
trustee Steve.
Okay, so motion and seconded by trustee Hendrick and trustee Steve. Any questions on the discussion?
Just to clarify, Attorney Murphy, this would be both the redevelopment plan and the eligibility study, or just
Yes.
one?
Both.
Okay. And the motion is to make them available to the public?
Yes. So you
Yes.
can have a copy available and put it up on the village webpage.
Got it.
Okay. All right, take the roll.
Trustee Denton,
Aye.
trustee Steve,
Aye.
trustee House,
Aye.
trustee Brown,
Aye.
trustee Holmes,
Aye.
trustee Henry.
Aye.
Motion carries 6 ayes. New business, item A, the resolution intergovernmental agreement for the coronavirus relief funds. And this is what Madam President was talking about earlier. Can I get a motion for approval of this?
I motion.
I second.
Hello?
I'm sorry, I'm not hearing. But that
I'm
was
getting cut
trustee
out here.
Holmes
Yes.
Okay,
and
trustee Holmes, and then it was trustee Denton.
Yes.
thank you.
Okay, motion by trustee. Uh, case on this. Any further discussion on this? Take the roll, Madam Clerk.
Trustee Denton,
Aye.
trustee Steve,
Aye.
trustee House,
Aye.
trustee Brown,
Aye.
trustee Holmes. Trustee Holmes? I think that was an aye.
Aye.
Thank you. And trustee Henyard.
Aye.
Motion carries 6 ayes. Next thing on the agenda is the mayor's report. I'd just like to mention a few things. We will convene our food distribution on Saturday. At least for the next, we've got a commitment for the next 4 weeks, for the next 4 Saturdays, where we will be distributing food again at the Melly Fitness. Secondly, we'll be COVID testing on Saturday, and we will have that at the Melly Fitness Center also for at least the next 4 Saturdays. I want to mention the fact I had a meet. We've been having some shooting incidents here in the village, and it seems to be some rival gang members. Some of the shootings been concentrated in the area of 151st and Evers. We've had problems there before in the past. I called a meeting of those residents on 3 blocks there, 150th, 151st, 152nd, and Evers this Saturday. We had a great turnout of concerned residents and citizens in regards to what's happening. The recent incident that we've had shooting there, where there was one subject shot, and he also survived. We got some valuable information from the residents there in regards to some of the information that they obtained, and some of the descriptions of some suspects that will probably lead into helping the police taking some people in custody. But Chief, we have the deputy chief here. He's been involved in investigations, and he was there at the meeting Saturday, gaining some input from some citizens. Would you like to say something, Chief?
Just to let everyone know that, yeah, through someone at the meeting, they actually identified the passenger of the vehicle, and that information has been forwarded down to or up to the detective division, I should say. So the meeting at least produced that, as well as I think the community was a little bit more comfortable knowing what was going on with the investigation.
And also, Chief, you want to mention the fact of the search warrant and the recovery?
So I don't know if you guys seen the picture, but so originally we had problems with the area of the valley, and then also some individuals from Harvey World. And a search warrant was done on Lexington, where they recovered a .45 caliber, which was the caliber that was used in the shooting originally on the block of Irving off of 146th. And also recovered was 2 other handguns and an AK-47 with one of those large drum clips. I can forward the trustees some of those photos if they'd like.
So our police department, in conjunction, if you don't know, our deputy chief came from Chicago PD. He had good relationships and contact, and worked in the units of the gun unit, the gang unit, and with the gun team. And they developed this information, which is assisting our police in regards to the shooting. When they did the search warrant in Harvey, they have identified the weapon that was recovered in the search warrant as being involved in the shooting here in Dalton. So, Chief, you keep up the good work. Continue to maintain your relationship with the gun team in Chicago. as they identify. And this is not the first search warrant that they did in relation to some criminal activity here in the village of Dalton. So and I'm speaking to the whole community here, if you have some information in regards to some of this criminal activity, some of the shootings, please contact the police. The police don't have to come to your house. You can come to the police station, speak with Sergeant Price or both of the deputy chief and the police chief, give some anonymous information so we can help curb some of this activity that some of these guys want to bring into our community, into our neighborhood. Giovanni?
Yes,
Did somebody say something?
Yes. Trustee Holmes, may I be recognized?
Go ahead, trustee.
My question, was any other board members, trustees notified of this meeting?
Of the meeting?
Yes.
No. I had the police, we initiated a letter for the mayor's office. I had personally contact with many of the residents there over the last year. I had the police department put the letter in each one of those doors. I believe there was 2 trustees that had heard about it when they came to the meeting, and that was trustee Steve and trustee Brown.
Yeah, moving forward, because see, I wasn't notified, no other trustees were notified, and I think it's unfair, especially I'm the chair, police and fire. I didn't get a call and wasn't notified. And I think it's disrespectful for the other trustees if they wasn't notified neither. This is we all are elected officials in public service. I think we all should have been there to represent and know what's going on. I respect the police department, but at the same time, we also can get information and forward it to the department too. And I think we should have been notified at this meeting, as we done had lots of shootings, carjackings, and a lot of other crimes that have been going on in the village of Dalton that residents don't even know about. And I think that was wrong, for me not to know, the other trustees not to know. If there's something going on, a threat to a person's life inside of this village, there's no big eyes and no little U's. We all got elected with a public service. We should have been notified. It should have been at that meeting.
So noted, but I also think it's unfair when you hold press conferences about criminal activity that you got the information from our police department, which shouldn't have been shared with you because it was confidential information and it was information that was still being investigated. So when you hold your press conferences and hold these clandestine meetings, you never notify the mayor's office and let the mayor know what's going on and or any of the other trustees.
Well, Mayor,
so it's a two-way street.
I've been doing
two-way street
on this for the longest. And one thing I notice about you, if it's not coming from you, is a problem. We all must work together and stop thinking that we're bigger than the other person. We all work together. I've been holding.
Why don't you?
Told me over and over again that you didn't want Dalton in the news. Why not? They got radios. You always think that I call. They have radios. They come in a minute and in a heartbeat, and you know that. They've been coming out here way before I was a trustee about crime. They get it off their radio. So no matter how we get the information, long as the information get to the police department. I've been working across the state in Illinois with law enforcement for years and ain't had a problem from no law enforcement about who I turn in, who I walk in, how they get the crime, as long as it gets solved. It's just, it seems to me like you got a problem when the media is out here and you think that I call, somebody else call, regardless how they get their information, they have radios. And from you being a law enforcement personnel, you should know that. So don't criticize another person or me or any trustee when the media is out here. Let's respect each other.
I got a problem when you provide information to the media before the investigation is even conducted. And on some occasions, you provided the wrong information to the media before the police can even finish their investigation.
And you're totally wrong. And that's your point. It's just because it's not.
That's not true. That's not true. It's been verified. It's been verified by the police chief.
If it's not coming from you, you have a problem with it. We need to take our hands and let the department heads work. Simple as that. I'm in.
That's not true.
I am done with it.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a two-way street.
Well,
Okay,
when I have something,
the next
just
thing on the agenda,
get upset
I
about
thought
it.
you were done with it. I thought you were done with it.
Two-way street, but when I have something, don't interrupt it and get upset about it. Let's just continue to
I
work.
don't get upset about it.
Don't work it.
You're the one that sounds upset. I
Providing
don't get upset about it. You're the one that sounds upset.
Let it be, and they can solve the case. You can solve the case just like I can solve the case, but there's no big eyes and no little U's.
It's not my position to solve the case. And it's not your position to solve the case. That's what we have police for. That's what we have police for.
Detectives, if you get the information to the detectives, they can solve the case, give it to the state's attorney. Let's get this conviction rolling. That's simple as that.
Trustee Holmes, you don't have to tell me the protocol for investigations. I've did them for a long time. All I'm saying is that it's a two-way street. When you hold a press conference, you never notify us. You never notify us when you hold a press conference. So it's a two-way street.
When it's done, I'm in the conversation.
Thank you. Next thing on the agenda is citizens address. Giovanni, you have questions?
Yes. The first one is, as you know, it is extremely dark on a lot of our neighborhood streets, which poses great danger for our residents. Could you please tell me what are the plans to get this problem rectified?
The only thing I can say is that anytime I notice that there's lights out, I give it to Public Works. We ask the residents to call Public Works if they can identify any lights that are out. But on a regular basis, every week, we're replacing light bulbs that are burned out in the village.
Okay. This is regarding the town hall meeting. Someone just commented and said that Trustee House stated that the mayor took the meeting back. He stated that in the last Public Works meeting.
I took the meeting back.
It says Trustee House stated that the mayor took the meeting back. He stated that in the last Public Works meeting.
If I can chime in on that one. And during the last finance committee meeting, I said there was discussion about putting it in the finance committee, and then ultimately it was decided that a town hall meeting would be conducted, but it was not placed in the finance committee.
Okay, if that answers it.
Yeah, it was actually a comment, so.
Okay, let's get clear on this. Are we waiting for information from the lease to be provided before holding the town hall meeting, or do you want a town hall meeting immediately?
I would suggest, Mayor, that we at least get the specifics so we can see at the amount of revenue that we may make, the potential revenue, the whole thing, because if we do one without the full information, you're coming to the residents with just half the information that they need to give the proper input, and we have half the information to make the proper decision. That's why the last board meeting, it was just a vote to move forward so we can get, not to move forward, to vote on it and make it, bring it to the village, just to get the specifics of what is there, how much money we're going to make, how much revenue is going to bring, what they're going to cut down, the landscape. We don't know none of the specifics. So I say we move forward to get the specifics, and then we can bring the specifics and say, this is what it is, and let's make a clear decision on it. You can't make a clear decision if you don't have the specifics and the details of everything.
Mayor, I think that it should be a town hall meeting. The cow should be council, and that should be the actual town hall meeting. Since everybody know to chime in at that time, that should be in 2 weeks, the town hall meeting. That way everybody got whatever information y'all still waiting on, and everybody had their T's crossed, I's dotted. That's my suggestion.
Is this on the property on Cottage Grove?
Yes, yes.
Okay, let me chime in. I did ask for a town hall meeting on this, and I still say we should. I understand you want to put the drones up there. I'm agree with that, but at the same time, I don't want to move forward until the EPA gets into the soil and find out how contaminated this property is, because I don't talk with them. This property is not fit unless it's deeply clean, and it's a hazard, and it's going to be a liability if we move forward without the EPA coming in, and it'll be a liability for a lawsuit on the village.
All right, so you're going to arrange the EPA to come in and do the examination?
we can, all they do is pick up a phone call and talk to them. As simple as that. I mean, you know that. That's not true.
Okay.
That's not this, Mayor. I done did the work. It's been this way for the longest. So why are we pushing it forward without getting a proper way to make sure this is not this soil is not harmful to the residents? I'm not against you. I'm just trying to work with everybody. Let's make sure that the EPA saying it's okay.
Okay, who's gonna pay for the examination?
Okay, if nobody's gonna pay for the examination, why move forward if that soil is damaged and bad and you already know that?
The soil can be, that particular location can be used for certain things without an examination. But if the EPA comes in and do the examination, there's going to be a cost to it. And in fact, the EPA may in fact say, get an outside contractor to do it.
And if the soil is bad, it's going to be a cost to it. If someone gets in there and gets sick, then the village is liable for that responsibility.
I got a question. All I'm saying is all of that can be discussed and be put in the lease in regards to responsibility, in regards to insurance, in regards to examination. So if we have that type of information, I tell you even another thing, even though we're tax exempt, but if we own the property and we lease it, somebody at that point, it becomes somebody's responsibility to pay the taxes. So that even has to be discussed, and that should be placed in the lease. And that's one of the things that when I spoke with the attorney today, Attorney Murphy, he said we need to get some particulars even before we have the town hall. So some of those questions are going to come up. We're not going to be able to even answer. We're not going to even know what the potential leaser is going to present if we don't know that going into the town hall.
The question or the statement I have is that I say the person who wants to come is obviously aware of that. Say if they, from my understanding, it may take $1 million to clean that place up. If they willing to clean it up and willing to pay for it, then at least let's get that. And let's say if they want to pay for it, let's get them to pay for it and clean it up. So
we got it in black and white, trustee.
Yeah,
good with me.
Let's move forward on that. And then, like I said, let's get the specifics of how much it's going to cost of everything, so they're aware of it and we're aware of it. And they're talking about beauty, cleaning that place up. I live over there. I ride past it every morning. So, and a lot of people live over there, and it's terrible over there. So if we can get somebody here to get the specifics, I'd like to get the specifics before we do anything. And that's
one of the things that they mentioned was the fact that not paying any rent for the first year to compensate them for the cleanup. The cleanup was going to be done in phases, where they would clean up a portion, they would utilize that for parking, and as they grow and extend it, they would continue to clean up. And but they wanted to start before winter comes, because once the snow and the temperature drops and everything, it's gonna prohibit them from moving forward to make the improvements. So let's get this clarified. Trustee Henry, you're saying holding a town hall meeting in conjunction with the committee of the whole?
Well, what I'm stating is that we don't do the committee of the whole. We have the actual town hall meeting because everybody knows that's an actual meeting. So now more residents will chime in to what we got going on.
Well, we have to have the committee of the whole because there's going to be other items on the agenda.
Well, you can do that and put one item on there, but I'm saying the whole logistics of it should be about that one item. That's the topic of discussion at the moment. And I agree with Trustee Holmes, because I stated that from the last minutes from December of 2011. So the EPA do need to be included. We are getting fined for not doing the work over there. It states it all in the minutes right here. So you can pull that, and that way you have something to go off of. So
we made the modifications to that property when the EPA cited us for dumping our own stuff there. So
correct.
Public Works did go over there and clean that portion of it up where we were cited with the EPA.
Right, but Mayor, it's some issues there, and I'm stating that because I did talk to everybody along Cottage Grove there, and guess what they told me? Our people are going over there dumping on that site, meaning the village. This is what they told me.
They're not dumping over there anymore.
I'm just telling you. That's what they said. So
they can say anything. I know for a fact we're not dumping over there anymore.
They're not gonna make it up. They live there.
Superintendent Stacy. Hello. Superintendent Stacy?
Left there.
So Mayor, are you in agreement with having this in 2 weeks? Before the cow?
We can have it before the cow, but I'm saying the whole cow meeting cannot be specifically for that one item because there's gonna be other items on the agenda.
We've done it before, but that's fine. It'll just be a longer meeting, but that's fine. But just as long as the residents are included, that's all I care about.
I just said we can hold it before our regular cow meeting, yes. But we still gonna have other agenda items on the cow. So Mary Kay, make a note of that.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And can you pull this, the
Super-
date that I'm talking about, Mary Kay? So the board can have it. Can you send them this?
Sure,
One
that would
second,
be
Mayor.
October 19th is the next scheduled committee of the whole meeting.
Matt, are you there? I think Matt is there.
Superintendent,
I'm here. I'm having internet problems. Go ahead, Mayor.
are we dumping on 142nd Street in Cottage right now?
No, not at Cottage. We're dumping 142nd by the police station and in our yard.
Okay. Does that clarify it for you, trustee?
The people ain't got a lot of me. They said y'all dumping over there. They live there, not me. So
They can
I'm
say
just putting it out there
anything.
for the record.
I know
But
for
okay.
a fact we're not dumping there. I know for a fact we're not dumping there. And in fact, the closest residence to that on Cottage Grove is in the 142nd block past, in adjacent to across from the post office and past the post office. So I don't see, in fact, how those residents that's located past the post office and the house is abandoned directly across from the post office can see, in fact, if somebody's dumping it, that our trucks are going there
Mayor,
dumping, and they're not.
Let me tell you something about our residents.
And I'm telling
I
you, they're
got a
not.
neighborhood watch lady. Hold on my block. She
Yes.
see everything,
Right,
everything.
So
She
now
can
you,
tell you what you put on.
now
I'm
you,
serious.
okay,
So
that's fine.
people that really
Now,
care, that really
where do you
don't,
live?
I'm
What
serious.
block
When they
do you live?
retire, don't have nothing to do. They
What
watch.
block do you live
Seriously.
on? What block do you live on?
I'm not telling you the block I live on, but what I'm trying to
Okay,
explain
then.
to you is that
I know
they're
what
not
block
gonna
you
make
live
that up.
on. I know what block you
Mayor.
live on, and the
I don't
lady
care.
that
That's
lives on
fine.
your block cannot possibly see 142nd and Cottage.
Mayor and
I didn't
trustee,
say on my
telling you.
block.
if I may
on my
interrupt, we are in the middle of
Okay.
citizens address, and there are citizens address comments that are
Thank
yet to be addressed by.
Okay,
the board.
okay, well,
Thank
for the record, Mary Kay, this is what I was
What-
trying to get out. December 5th of 2011, can you get those minutes and give it to the entire board so y'all can all see what's going on with that property over there? It's in the minutes when Mayor Rogers was a trustee and he voted on it. So it's all in the minutes.
So noted.
What did I
Thank you.
vote on?
Oh, you want to go over it? You want me to read it? You want me to go over it?
That's
I
all
No,
thought
right.
you
we are in
supposed to-
citizens
I thought you
address,
wanted
not
Prior to
trustees
the
address
board.
or mayor's address. So
Prior to the
please, can we
board.
continue?
Thank you.
All right, the next question is, could you please tell me the process for obtaining a seat on the board?
They have to get elected. They have to go through election. We got one coming up shortly.
All right, the next question is, this is a comment. It says, if they have someone that wants to improve that dump spot, please do so. The next question is, it's a correction from a previous comment. It says, allow me to correct myself. Trustee House stated the mayor took back the town hall meeting at the finance meeting, but you all just addressed that a few moments ago.
I wasn't at the finance meeting, just for clarification.
Yeah, the comment was just stating that what Trustee House stated about you at the finance meeting.
Okay.
The next question was, when is the town hall regarding the proposed new business, which you all just discussed as well?
It's been proposed to hold it prior to our committee of the whole meeting. What day was that, Madam Clerk?
2 weeks from tonight, October 19th.
Okay.
The next question, a resident wants to know, will there be a business plan that residents can expect regarding the new business on Cottage Grove?
a business plan. I'm not sure.
Next question, could you give us more details regarding FEMA and the flood area?
Not at this time. There's specific areas in the village that when we get excessive rain, they have a tendency to flood a little bit more than other areas. Those are the areas that will be discussed in regards to FEMA assistance.
Okay. Next question is, what about the water bill dates being changed during the Public Works meeting?
I discussed that in my committee report.
All right. Next question, where was the Melanie Fitness listed and how much is it being sold for? Or is it also being leased?
It's not being leased and it's not being listed. We decided not to list it at this time because we have a buyer. If we list it, we have to pay the commission fees to that person who lists it. But we do have I do have a Dalton residence that is waiting in the queue if we decide to lease it to go with him. The last appraisal for Melanie Fitness was at, I think, $800,000 or $900,000.
It was $800,000. I want to just correct that. We don't have a buyer. We have a potential
buyer.
Yeah, potential interested buyer.
Mayor, who's doing the negotiations for that?
And their offer has been what, 500,000?
We haven't sat down with them with the offer yet.
Yeah. So the first offer we had, last offer was 500,000. Yes.
Mayor, who's doing the negotiations for that? How do trustee Steves know all that? And no other board member knows any of this?
Well, I can tell you how I know about it because I'm the one kind of spearheading it. Whenever we have a concrete offer, then it will come to the board for sure. But people can throw out numbers all day. I don't want to come to the board and say, well, we got this. Once we have a concrete offer, like even the person that offered the 500,000, if they would have came with their financing, then it would have came to the board for a vote. But that's where we at. I don't want to come to.
But let me help you real quick.
Can I finish?
So on some legal stuff, and the mayor should help you and protect you in some type of way, trustee Steves. We're not a real estate agent. You don't negotiate. You don't speak up upon the board because you are a vote. So that's how you get yourself in trouble. So I'm trying to help you. You normally give that to the village attorney or the administrator. So that's just some advice, okay? So if I was you, I would take myself out of that and give that to one of them and let them give it to the entire body. That way they can't say that you was in on whatever y'all talking about. That's for the record.
Again, with this, watch your little self. Can we keep this at a professional level and not like we speaking on the street somewhere? If it comes to the board, once we get to the point where we get a concrete offer, then it will come to the board, period. You know what I mean? I'm not making no.
This is professional.
Are you going to finish my point? My point is that when the first I sat down with the mayor and they discussed it, and then if we can't, people can say anything. But once it gets to the point where paperwork's involved and this involved, I definitely gotta get the attorney involved. But since I'm the committee chair over it, and I'm the one that's been foreseeing it, then I'm the one that's kind of out here. Oh man, we're selling it. But then if we get to the point where there's paperwork involved and there's lawyers involved, of course I'll step out of it. Period. Of course
You missing the point. That was just me trying to help you. You will get yourself in a lot of trouble. Don't negotiate anything.
I'm not negotiating.
You should just give it to the attorney. That's all I was trying to help you. But be quiet. Continue doing what you're doing. Go right ahead.
Thank you, trustee. This is citizens address. Are there any more questions, Giovanni?
Yes, we have more. Can you hear me still?
Yes, I can.
Okay, someone said, I saw the new traffic unit video. With all the crime going on in Dalton, why was a citizen pulled over for a change of lane without a turn signal violation? Is this going to be the norm for the traffic unit?
Well, the traffic unit writes all type of violations. And in some cases, and I'm telling you this from experience, accidents are caused by people changing lanes without signaling. So that's part of traffic enforcement. The traffic unit not only just handles traffic, it's predominantly assignment is handling traffic, but it handles accidents. It responds to criminal activity. The commander that's on the traffic unit is the hostage negotiator. He was involved in the negotiation that we had at that hostage situation. So changing lanes without a signal is part of a traffic violation.
Okay, the next question is, another person has a follow-up question on the same topic. It says, why are vehicles being sent tickets for making right turns on a red light at the intersection of Sibley and Lincoln? There are no signs that say no turn on red.
I'm not sure if anybody enforced that or not, but Sibley and Lincoln.
I would think those
Isn't
would
that
be
what
red
that
light
red
tickets, Mayor.
is that? Red light
Pardon
camera
me?
is there. Red light
Red light.
camera is there.
Okay. That could be it.
Okay. The next one is, with Trustee Holmes reporting on the police, is he monitoring these stops by the traffic unit as well?
No, we have a traffic unit that's monitoring the traffic stops. But if there is a problem where you see something is going wrong, either with that person they stop or either on the police part, I ask that you do call and report that. It can go either way.
Okay. Another comment says, the key matter is the traffic because there is resident foot traffic, children, homeowner property values. The other details are important, but that will not negate the fundamentals.
The traffic unit was basically formed because of a lot of the complaints from the residents in regards to the speeding, running stop signs, cars blocking sidewalks when the children were going to school. They had to go around the cars going to the street. Just we responded to the complaints of the residents, and to be quite honest with you, the first I think week or two that we placed the traffic unit at several stop signs, there were 40 to 50 tickets in a row. We found that hardly anyone was paying attention to those stop signs, and so we formed a detail.
Okay. The next comment says, I don't know about you, but my property taxes are too high. And if this can bring revenue for the village instead of a fly dumping spot, I would like to hear about the details.
Well, that the fine that are associated with a guilty plea or a guilty verdict in court are can be assessed by the court, can be reduced by the court, but those have no bearing on bringing in revenue for to offset property taxes.
Okay. The next comment says, I got her flyer from Mayor. This comment is not really relevant
You gotta get to you just gotta get to the question.
Yeah, that's not relevant. I'm skipping over it. Let's see. Here's another question. Can we speak about the increase of the water bills?
I'm not, has it been a recent increase? Hello, has it been a recent increase? What, Giovanni, can you get some specifics on that?
Okay, I'll ask. Here's another question. It says, PIN in this area seems to be a problem. We recently found out that our address is tied to two different PINs. One is in Dixmoor, Illinois. We had tax problems because our payments were sent from the wrong PIN. Is this a common problem in Dalton?
Well, I'm going to say personally, my pen was kind of too. I had to contact the assessor's office and to have them correct it. So, and sometimes they do get it wrong.
Next question is, who pays for the TIF study?
John, are you on?
Yes. The developer paid for a portion of it. The village will pay for the rest. Once the TIF district is in effect and generating new property taxes, the village will be able to reimburse itself from the TIF fund to the general fund for those upfront expenses.
Okay. What is the village going to do about residents who do not purchase window vehicle stickers? Too many of my neighbors do not purchase the stickers. Why should I? This is funds toward the water bill.
We have enforcement out there. They're writing a lot of tickets in regard to stickers. In some cases, when they come to court, they have to pay the fine and purchase the sticker. But we have, since some of our crossing guards are not working because the schools are out, they have been sworn in as clerks and they've been issuing tickets in regards to stickers. Also, our inspectors can issue tickets for registration.
Okay. Question for Trustee Holmes. You have been in office for almost 2 years and have not held a police and fire committee meeting yet. When will you hold one? You can discuss the traffic unit.
I have had many meetings. I'm waiting on the chief to get that date together. We have talked. I know he has been out ill, but I'm waiting until, he's ready with a date and we can go from there.
Okay. Next question. Who on the board, including the mayor, authorized the water department employee or employees to receive advanced payroll that was characterized as being a ghost payroll payday loan?
That was discussed at the last 2 meetings. There was no authorization for ghost payroll, and that's it. There's no further comment on that.
Okay. Let's see, I'm just looking for more questions. Someone said, I've been reporting a dead tree in front of my house for 1 year. The tree has no living leaves and the bark and limbs are falling off with every storm. A car will be next. And she stated that she's on Everett Street.
Superintendent Stacy?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
She reported for 1 year.
Okay, I don't know the address. The comment in there says that she'll email me. So as soon as I get the email, I'll check it out.
Okay, thank you. Can you clarify the change of dates for the water bill?
I'm not sure if it's been implemented. From what I understand, it's still under discussion. So we will notify. Proper notification will be done as soon as the change is made.
Okay. Does the mayor ever hold press conferences about the crimes going on in Dalton? We get our information from the Ring neighborhood application.
I've held many press conferences when it's warranted and when the media wants to know. But in regards to holding a press conference in regards to the crime, specifically the crime, no, I would say no.
Okay. Next question. Why do we need an EPA examination for a parking lot facility?
That's what the trustees want.
The truth is the soil is contaminated. That's why.
Trustee Henry, I said there are certain businesses that an examination is not required. And one of the businesses is a parking lot because it's not, the land is not being, it's not habitable. and it's conducive to that type of activity. So if you want an EPA examination, the EPA can examine it, but to get what's called a phase 1, 2, or 3, somebody's gonna have to pay for that.
Okay. Another resident said, I also live on Evers and have asked for a dead tree to be cut down. Spoke with Sandra several times and nothing has been done. Why?
Well, I'm not sure, Sandra. We don't have a Sandra. We have a Sandra in the permit department. I'm not sure if she's the proper person to speak to, but she should speak to someone in the public works department. Now, we do not cut trees down for cosmetic reasons. If the tree needs to be cut down, and we've had many that we did cut down because of the ash borer beetle disease. But at any rate, if she can email a location and get it to the superintendent.
Okay. It seems like business decisions are being rushed. For example, Melanie, Cottage Grove, and the proposed lease. When are you all going to establish a plan and stop being reactive? Where is the village going?
I don't see anything being rushed. I mean, there was a proposal brought to the board in regards to the parking lot. Like it has been before, things never panned out because of the cost of the cleanup there. Now, I think personally, a parking lot there, especially with the potential plan that they gave to the trustees in regards to the outside landscaping and going forward with developing this property on a partial basis as they went forward, which included the cleanup. I don't think that's rushing it. As far as the Melanie Center, it's been out there for a long time to try to sell it. And Trustee Steve had been talking to some of the potential people that said they wanted to buy it, but when it comes down to producing the funds and substantiating that they have the financial wherewithal, that hasn't happened. I don't think we're rushing anything here.
Okay, next question. In reference to the red light camera at Sibley and Lincoln, why are the fines that are being paid not being reported?
Being reported to where?
I'll move on and then see if she follows up to see if she can add a little more follow-up to the question. Why is there no timer on the red light cameras?
There doesn't have to be a timer on that. I don't understand what she's talking about, a timer.
Yeah, it just asks why is there no timer on the red light cameras?
No, there's not any time. There's not any timers on the cameras itself. The majority, and probably all of them, those red light violations are not making a complete stop on red. That's when or if the traffic control device has turned red and you just absolutely run through the red light. That's when those cameras are activated.
Okay.
Mayor, I got a question for that. Trustee Pearson asked for a sign. I know we voted on it to put there to say must make a complete stop before you turn right. Whatever happened to that? Can we not put one there so people know complete stop, then turn right?
I don't know where that fell, but we're not allowed to put signs on state maintained roads. We would have to get permission from the Illinois Department of Transportation, because any sign that's not authorized by the state cannot go up there. They automatically remove them.
And that's fine, then we should get the permission, but I've seen this in other cities and it's a sign on the road that say must make complete stop. So I think we should do the same.
And that's fine, but in some of those other cities, there's red lights that are not state maintained control. So they may be able to put up a sign. All I'm saying is that we need to get permission from the Illinois Department of Transportation.
Okay, then I'm fine with that. Who would I tell to do that? To get permission from the state? You want me to send a letter from my office, or you got it, or?
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay, I'll take care of it.
And I think, if I may speak, I think that the constituent was speaking of the light that counts down from 10 all the way to 0. I think that's what she was stating about.
That light, the countdown on those lights are for the traffic lights themselves. That's not for the camera that's activated when you run the light. That gives the pedestrian the amount of time that they have to complete the crosswalk. So in some cases, depending on the size of the crosswalk, depending on the size of the lane itself, you will get more time. If it's a smaller lane, you may get 10 to 12 seconds. If it's a larger lane, you could get 15 to 20 seconds. So that lets the pedestrian know how soon that traffic light will change in the opposite direction of where they're crossing. That has no bearing on the red light camera.
Yeah, someone did respond. They were referencing the timer. They were referencing a timer to let people know when the light is about to change.
Yeah, that's for pedestrians.
Okay.
In some cases where there's not high pedestrian traffic, you won't see a timer.
Okay. Who does the money go to for the red light camera?
It goes to the village.
Okay. And let's see if we have a few more questions.
Now, total amount of the fine does not go to the village because there's a portion that goes to the red light company.
Okay. Does the village determine the percentage and or amount that citizens pay for property taxes?
No, the village does not determine it.
Okay.
The properties are assessed by the assessor's office.
Okay. Can you please advise if residents will get some kind of compensation from the severe flood damages?
I would say no.
Okay.
Unless they want to apply for some state aid. I know there was some available state grants. There's in some cases there's FEMA assistance, but not locally from the village.
Okay. The next question is for Clerk Dugan. How do I request for information through the Freedom of Information Act filed? I applied directly with you and haven't received anything yet.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Please email me. My email is online, or telephone me at 201-3295, and I will follow up specifically. But typically a resident can request information under the Freedom of Information Act by accessing the form online, sending me an email, or coming in here, and there are forms available for completion. But do let me know and I'll follow up.
Okay, thank you. And then also, we have a directory tab on the Village of Dalton website that has the name, phone number, and email for every department throughout the village. And I'll put that link in the chat box as well. So if people have questions about specific departments, they'll know how to contact those departments. Let's see. If the village is getting funds from FEMA for flood damage, why are you making sure your residents, it's probably trying to say, why aren't you making sure your residents are taken care of as well?
As far as I'm concerned, as far as I'm aware of, we haven't received any FEMA funds. What they're anticipating on is receiving funds to correct those problem areas where we have most of the floods have been occurring. And I would think, and I'm not sure, that those funds are available for that, not for the personal use of the residents.
Excuse me, they do have a number to see if anyone can, if they can actually apply for FEMA. So FEMA does have a a FEMA disaster hotline number to see if you are able to receive assistance. And that's a 1-800-621-FEMA. And you can dial that number and see if you qualify for assistance.
Okay, someone else has other question about the red light camera regarding the portion that goes to the village. They want to know how much is collected for the year.
That's undetermined. That's you can't predict that because the tickets are issued. Some of the violators voluntarily pay, some do not pay. A large percentage do not pay. It goes to the collection agency, so you cannot predict how much you're going to actually collect for the year.
Okay, next question. I was told by the assessor's office that the village determines what percentage the citizens pay for property taxes. Are you sure that's not the case?
As far as I know, John, are you here? John Murphy?
Yeah, Gio, if you could read that question again, she asking who pays what or who determines what?
Oh yeah, sure. It says, I was told by the assessor's office that the village determines what percentage the citizens pay for property taxes. Are you sure that's not the case?
The village, the schools, all the taxing bodies levy an amount. All of that is put together and that creates the entire tax bill. So the village doesn't fix anything. We levy what the board decides from year to year. My recollection is that as a percentage of the total tax bill, it's somewhere around 18% of the total bill. The rest is predominantly education.
Okay. And that's the last question.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to go into closed session.
You need a motion, Mayor.
May I address something before we go into closed session?
Go ahead, trustee.
Do we have a motion on the floor? I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. Go ahead, trustee.
Okay. You know, I in trying to work together with these abandoned homes that have these weeds and high grass cutting, you know, on 147th in Indiana in August. After we cleaned up down by the expressway, we came down to 147th in Indiana. And I commend those who came out and cleaned it up because I left it as it was. That's because Chuck's Lawn and Garden came out, had people to cut, and that was from the railroad. And they didn't cut. They scattered all that garbage there. And I called the railroad. He ignored the calls after I told him what was going on. I got a hold to Chuck's Lawn and Garden. They told me they're supposed to come out, cut, manicure, and pick up everything. They did not do that. That's why that place was like it was on Sibley. Then I took a protest out there in front of that lawn and garden place. Now, in saying that, K and M, we were on the same block, cutting, cleaning, and picking up the debris from the streets that we had. I'm asking that somebody, or you notify them that they supposed to clean up behind themselves too, because I filmed them just like I filmed Chuck's, the lawn garden place, and they leaving the debris right there. And it doesn't make any sense that we have to pay 3 times. We're paying them to clean up, and they leave the debris. And as I sit there, Public Works come around and pick it up. So Public Works is getting paid. And then when you look at it again for the 3rd time, Homewood is getting paid to take away their garbage too. I called this individual and asked him what was their protocols. And he told me to cut, clean, manicure, and pick up and clean up behind himself. I asked him about the trees too. He said the same thing, but they're not doing that. Public Works is picking it up when they should be doing other things and other jobs. And I think it's unfair that we fully paying them and they're not holding up to their end, cleaning up what they put out there and cutting, and it's still out there. And then our department has to pick it up. And I'm done with that one.
Okay, I'd like to get a motion to go into closed session.
I like to make a motion to go in closed session.
Second.
The board has to announce the reason. Is it for an individual personnel matter or for land acquisition or for
Talk
whatever?
about personnel.
Personnel matter.
Individual personnel matter, correct?
Yes.
Motion by trustee
Okay,
Henry,
is there a
second by
motion?
trustee House.
Okay. Roll call. I'd like to say that will be no other action after we come out of closed session other than adjournment.
Okay, I'll go ahead and stop the live stream and then I'll let you know.
Hold on one moment, Giovanni, we still have to do the roll call.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Trustee Denton? Trustee Denton? I see your lips moving.
Aye.
Thank you. Trustee Steve?
Aye.
Trustee House?
Aye.
Trustee Brown?
Aye.
Trustee Holmes?
Aye.
And trustee Henyard? Trustee Henyard?
Aye.
Okay then. 6 ayes.
Okay, okay, motion carries. All right, Giovanni, you can cut the live stream.
Okay, give me a few seconds. I'll let you know once it's